Oh, no, MGTOW brothers, I have not forgot about this one. You see, I do take issue with Ebony K. Williams, which interview that she had with I forgot her name. It's hard for me to keep up with names here, being the guy that I am. But here's my issue with Ebony K. Ebony K is full of double shaming tactics. And but what do I mean by double shaming tactics? It's simple. By the end of the day, I can tell you this: Ebony K. Williams will never be satisfied. And before I go any further, yet it's me again. They hate me, that's why they give a fuck about me. At the same time, as always, JD Miles, the MGTOWs, they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time, as always, and I'm back again. As you can see, as you can see from this video, what tonight's discussion is going to be about. Women like Ebony K. Williams will never be satisfied. And there's a reason why I'm pointing out the double shaming here. Now, ain't it funny? You have Ebony K. Williams trying to shame men for being bus drivers. But keep this in mind. These are the same females who want to shame men, especially black women blaming black men, shaming black women, claiming that they are bums, they don't work, they're lazy, they don't do nothing, they don't progress. But then you have Ebony K. Williams who wants to shame bus drivers. Case in point, you just can't win with these females, period. So one minute they'll call black men bums, but at the moment they at least try to make some out themselves, they turn around and try to shame them again because they're not the high value, big money, big houses, big cars type of men. Double shaming. I guess Ebony K. Williams fails to realize is this. How does these men get to where they are now? How does these men have all this money, fancy houses, fancy cars? That didn't happen overnight. That shit didn't fell out the sky. And if you ask some of these men who are worth their salt, some of them actually started rock bottom and climbed their way to the top. Oh, that's something Ebony K. Williams fails to comprehend. And yeah, the backlash was great. All the way down to a point to where she had to make this video whining and crying about people clapping right back on her remarks. In which I can honestly say this. I got more respect. I got more respect to all these humble bus drivers doing their job, and doing it and getting it done more than I have with stuck up lawyers like Ebony K. Williams. I just want to get this shit out there. But let's go ahead and hear her response towards the backlash, shall we? Let's go. And by the way, this video is protected under Title 107, the Fair Use Act. With that being said, let's get started.
Before I tell you my thoughts, let's replay the clip that had some of y'all deep into your feelings. I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to I don't know, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus,
See, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Now let's address the response to the interview.
And she ain't lying about that, Ebony K. Williams. You see, you have this fantasy in your head thinking that, oh, a man should already have everything all positioned and situated before you get into a relationship. Well, I got news for you, Ebony K. Williams. I talked to a lot of people. That includes black couples, white couples, Hispanics, Asians, what may have you. And the majority of them got into a relationship when their husbands had nothing. When their husbands were working 9 to 5, even those who are bus drivers, the same ones you despise. And guess what? They stuck by their men as their men progressed up the ladder. Now they living comfortably. But you, Ebony K. Williams, you want a man that's already established, big earner, big house, fancy cars. But there's one problem. Women like you, Ebony K. Williams, wants to get into the picture after he established all that, not doing his ways of progress. Then you catch an attitude. Then these will be the same females who catch an attitude because these men are selfish. These men are stingy. But keep in mind, y'all came after he was established. Y'all didn't build him up like a Build-A-Bear. Let's just keep it $1.50. But let's hear Ebony K. Williams get into her feelings over the fact that everybody disagrees with what she has to say and how butthurt she is about it.
What some of y'all are calling a backlash. So let me be clear. First, I am a professional disruptor. So backlash is my business. And I will always take it on the chin for the sake of advancing the work, conversation, or movement.
Then why are you crying about it then, huh? If you could take it on the chin, then why are you rubbing your chin? That's everybody's question, Ebony K. Williams. Why is you rubbing your chin if you could take it on the chin? Does it hurt? I guess so, considering the fact that you're crying about it. While trying to say everybody else is crying about what you say, you're crying about what they're saying. Notice your own contradiction here? But let's continue on.
So know that I am completely unfazed by the onslaught of nasty comments, wishing me a sad, lonely, bitter existence until my untimely death.
And you just proved my point entirely. Because if you all about backlash and if you could take it on the chin, then you, Ebony K. Williams, wouldn't be in front of the camera whining, crying, bitching, and moaning about it. And don't y'all just love how these individuals jump on camera pretending to have thick skin while crying at the same time about their skin being bruised? I don't get that at all. But let's continue.
Now, that is some weird energy to be wishing onto a black woman, especially one who has dedicated her life to the liberation of black folk. But, whatever.
Stop the cap. Because you were really about liberation of black folk, like you claim, Ebony K. Williams, then you wouldn't have a problem at all with black men at least trying to make something out of themselves, not shaming them just because they work a 9 to 5. And yeah, we get it. And yeah, we get it. You expect for men, especially black men, to have all their shit together before you give them a chance. But as I stated before earlier, you got to start, they have to start somewhere and then make their way up. This shit doesn't happen overnight. This shit doesn't fall from out the sky. And here's an actual fact. Most men don't reach their peak until the age of 30. So throughout their 20s, they're grinding. They're grinding and clawing their way up to that top. By the age of 30, they're just about halfway there on that financial ladder. Oh, that's right. Ebony K. Williams don't have time for that. But ain't it funny? You all about the liberation of black folks, but as I heard, Ebony K. Williams, you crossed over. Now, this is just a rumor, but rumor has it that, oh, you all about black evolution, but you're interracially dating. Or that's what your preferences are. Now, me personally, I don't give a fuck about your preferences. Be whoever you want to be with. But if that's what you're doing, don't sit here and try to talk about you all about black evolution, while at the same time, not only is you dating outside your race, but you're also complaining about the men of your race. And that's a problem with most of these black females interracially dating. They can't leave their own race of men alone to be with the other side. And at the moment their men decide to do the same shit, oh, here come the hypocrites. They complain about these men being with other races of women. Oh, they complain about these men getting their passports, going to different countries to get with women. And yes, this is a certified fact. These are the same ones complaining while at the same time doing the exact same thing that they're doing. It's called hypocrisy. But as I stated before, I don't care. Date whoever you want to date, but don't sit here and be a fucking hypocrite about it. But then again, that's just a rumor. I'm just giving my take on the matter. Let's continue on.
I guess go off. See, I wanted to talk about how do we close the gap between black women who do show up in a so-called masculine posture, those of us that are providing and building and protecting due to circumstances that we might feel.
Again, more cap. If y'all were really protecting, then why are you crying to government talking about y'all being unprotected? One cap after another cap. Please stop the cap. You're saying one thing, but we seen a whole nother thing entirely. But let's continue.
Make us feel that if we don't do it for ourselves, we will have to go without the resources and protections we need to feel safe in this world. But Dr. Ayanla went in a different direction. She asked me a personal question. And y'all know I have been extremely transparent about the fact that my life choices and my chosen lifestyle are far outside of the norm. So when I said that I would date the bus owner, a lot of y'all heard something different. Some of you heard the following. Bus drivers are whack. Bus drivers are broke. Oh, and I'm too good for a bus driver. The only thing is...
And instead, you would rather be mad at them for having that mindset instead of you explaining it clearly and in straight detail. Which comes to my gripe with you, Ebony K. Williams. Because you see, especially in the black side, Women like you will shame men for being bums. You claim that they don't work. You claim that they're too lazy. You claim that they're not making money and progressing. And here you come trying to shame black men for being a bus driver or not being at a level you want them to be on. And this is why I say females like Ebony K. Williams will never be satisfied. You'll shame them for not doing. You shame them for not progressing, but then turn around and shame them again when they try to at least make a bit of progress. At least try to climb their way up to success. And that's the issue I have. Such a double standard. And then these will be the same ones who sitting here whining and crying about why they're getting such backlash, why all this stuff happens to them. Oh, poor you. Don't y'all just feel sorry for Ebony K. Williams right now? I doubt it. Let's continue.
Is y'all made that part up. See, I said what I said. But then some of you.
And we all heard it, Ebony K. Williams. And God damn it, I know how to pause. We all heard exactly what you say. Now here you are in front of the camera on damage control. Because that's all it is. You're on damage control because you sat there and tried to shame men who is at least making something out of themselves. And shout out to not just the bus drivers, but to all the blue collar workers out there on y'all grind, doing as much as you can to climb that ladder of success. Forget what these stuck up females has to say, because let me tell you something. My first job when I was in high school was a custodian and maintenance worker for a nursing home, making minimum wage. Then I graduated out of high school, went to college, and I then found myself during college working at Metro PCS. More money. Graduated out of college, and now I'm working for a high-paid job. In fact, before I even turned 40, I'm already looking at six figures. That's because I upgraded and upgraded and upgraded and upgraded. And guess what, Ebony K. Williams? I started out at minimum wage. Now I got a high-paid gig. Now I understand what it means to be a man worth their salt. Basically, I started from the bottom up. Something you will never understand, Ebony K. Williams, because you believe that you are entitled. But let's continue.
All started talking about salaries and hourly wages, pensions and benefits. And that's wild because I was never talking about money at all. I was talking about Black ownership, but some of y'all made it about money.
That's because you yourself tried to make it about money. And stop the fucking cap, Ebony K. Williams. And we all know why you want, and we all know why you want what the bus owner, not the bus driver. Wow, she's on damage control so hard. And if it's really about ownership, then how come y'all ignore each and every black male who's an owner of their own establishment? And don't sit here and pretend like y'all don't do that shit. Yes, you do. Yes, y'all do. Yes, y'all fucking do. Remember that black owner of that restaurant who kicked those females out for twerking on the tables, and how y'all had a problem with that shit? Instead of realizing that, look, he has a reputation to keep in order to keep his restaurant thriving. As I remember, y'all got mad all because he told them to stop. So y'all don't get two shits about black ownership. So miss us with that. Let's continue.
I'm talking about ownership, black enterprise, and entrepreneurship, because really I am talking about black liberation. And if you read my book, you'll understand why. So I'm standing
Again, if you're about black liberation, then why did you cross over? Allegedly. And at this point, this is just Eboni K. Williams on complete damage control, because she ended up saying something that completely contradicts their whole entire arguments. And even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see the shit. It's all about double shaming. And now she wants to claim that everybody who's backlashing against her is in her feelings, while at the same time she's in her own feelings about the backlash. And I don't even need to go any further on this. I said what I had to say. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.